Welcome back to BookCast FM, bringing books to life, one cast at a time. And welcome back to The Deep Dive, the show where we kind of take a piece of really compelling material and we just really get under the skin of it. You've sent us book summary, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. And our mission today is, like we said, a deep dive into this work on personal development. We're going to be really meticulous about, pulling out those core arguments, exploring all the different little pieces of his ideas, and giving you ultimately like a strong understanding of what makes this book tick and why people keep coming back to it.
It's not just a book, right? It's a framework that's shaped the thinking of so many people. And what's fascinating, just straight off the bat, is Murphy's, just his complete confidence in this power we all have, this power he puts, right in our subconscious mind.
Right. So let's start with that big idea. Can you give us the overall summary of his argument? What's the big picture, the big takeaway?
Yeah. So in essence, Murphy is saying that our subconscious mind is like this really potent force. It's constantly shaping our reality based on our thoughts, our beliefs, even our emotions. And his core argument is that by consciously learning to harmonize our desires and these deeply held beliefs we have down there, that we can unlock some really significant positive changes in our health, our success, happiness, even our finances.
So it's about alignment, right? Where our conscious goals and our subconscious, the stuff that's kind of running in the background, they're working together, not against each other.
Exactly. He actually uses the analogy of the subconscious being like this fertile soil. Mm-hmm. Our conscious mind is like the gardener, planting seeds in the form of beliefs, right? Mm-hmm. Especially those we feel really strongly about and reinforce through repetition. And then the subconscious, it just takes these seeds and it works tirelessly to make them real, to make them grow in our lives. Now, it's not like a magic genie, right? I mean, it works with what you already believe. So just wishing for something without addressing those deep down beliefs that might be contradicting it, that might not work. It's more like, like a really powerful gardener. It will grow whatever you plant there, even weeds.
So it's about planting the right seeds and weeding out the bad ones. That's a great analogy. Now, how do we go about doing that, the planting and weeding? What are the techniques Murphy suggests to influence our subconscious?
Well, he talks about several. Visualization is a big one, where you kind of create these vivid mental images of your goals as if they're already happening. Prayer, which he sees more as a mental state of accepting the outcome rather than a request, it's more about the feeling than the words. Then there are affirmations, those positive statements you repeat, and, just the overall discipline of having an optimistic outlook on things.
Okay, those are the main approaches. Now, let's go a little deeper into some of his key concepts. The first one I have here is subconscious as creative power. What should we really understand about this idea?
I think the big thing here is the subconscious doesn't judge. It doesn't analyze or question the things it gets from your conscious mind. It just accepts. And once that idea takes root, it becomes this unwavering force working to make it real. It's like an unquestioning executor of your inner commands. Whatever you give it, it runs with.
It just acts on the data, right? Makes sense. Next up, we have autosuggestion and mental repetition. How do these actually rewrite our subconscious instructions, so to speak?
Yeah, so autosuggestion, which is basically consciously suggesting ideas to yourself, right? Combined with repeating that over and over. It's kind of like a cornerstone of reprogramming those beliefs that are holding you back.
Yeah.
By saying those positive affirmations, you're planting those new, better beliefs into your subconscious. And over time, they can really start to override those old negative programs that might be holding you back. It's kind of like the way advertising works or even how we build habits. Repetition is key.
Got it. So it's not just a one-time thing. Got to keep at it. Okay, then there's the law of belief. This sounds like it's, pretty central to Murphy's whole idea here.
You're absolutely right. It's really important. Murphy really emphasizes that what you truly believe, deep down, that's what shapes your life. It's more than just saying something or understanding it intellectually. True belief that activates the subconscious, it sets things in motion to make things happen. It's your conviction that has the power. It's not just thinking it, it's feeling it deep down, often without even realizing it. That's why sometimes just trying to believe something doesn't cut it. You have to address those hidden beliefs that might be working against you.
So it's not just a wish, it's a deep knowing. That makes sense. Now, what about the mind-body connection? How does Murphy explain this relationship between our mental and physical states?
Well, he really stresses how strongly our minds can influence our bodies in both good and bad ways. He says that negative emotions like fear and anger and resentment can actually contribute to illness. But on the flip side, positive beliefs and a peaceful mind can really boost our body's natural ability to heal. It's a two-way street, right? What's happening in your head is directly affecting your body, and vice versa. We could even talk about things like stress hormones or the field of psychoneuroimmunology, but I don't want to get too technical. It's more about understanding the connection.
Right, it's a powerful connection. Next, visualization and mental imagery. We talked about this a bit, but what are the specifics Murphy emphasizes about this technique?
He really emphasizes the power of regularly picturing your goals in your mind as if they've already happened. The more real you make it, the more details, the stronger the emotions you tie to it, the more you're conditioning your subconscious to go after it. It's like you're creating a blueprint for your subconscious to follow. More than just a daydream, it's about focus, intention, and really feeling it.
Not just thinking it, but feeling it, yeah. Now, faith and spiritual laws. How does Murphy bring these ideas into his system?
This is interesting because he pulls from different traditions, both Christian and Eastern. He suggests that believing in a higher power or universal intelligence can make our mental efforts even stronger. It's about connecting to something bigger and trusting in that process. It deepens the experience and brings a sense of certainty. He takes inspiration from Christian mystics and their focus on inner experience and belief, but also from Eastern ideas about mindfulness and the interconnectedness of everything.
That's really interesting. And finally, in the key concepts, we have we are what we think. This seems to be a core message, right?
Definitely. Murphy argues that our habitual thoughts, those that we think over and over, they literally shape our experiences. He warns that negative thinking can be really self-destructive, so it's vital that we make a conscious effort to develop positive thoughts. No matter what our current circumstances are, changing our thoughts is the key to changing our lives.
Okay, so that's the foundation. Now let's look at some of the major themes in the book. First, mind-body-spirit connection, which we already touched on. What else should we highlight about this theme?
Well, Murphy keeps coming back to the idea that these three parts of ourselves are deeply connected. He argues that our mental and spiritual state has a direct impact on our physical health. And the reverse is true as well. How we treat our bodies affects our mind and spirit. It's a holistic view where taking care of one part helps the others as well.
Second, the power of belief and faith in shaping outcomes. This feels like a core part of his work, right?
Absolutely. Throughout the book, he uses stories and explanations to illustrate how our beliefs and our faith in what's possible, they drive our reality. It's our inner convictions, he says, that activate the subconscious and allow it to transform things. He argues that having that deep-seated belief, that unwavering certainty, it's like the fuel for change.
That's a powerful concept. Next, self-healing through mental techniques. A lot of people are looking for ways to heal themselves these days.
Yeah, and Murphy dedicates a good part of the book to this. He explores how we can use things like affirmations, visualization, and prayer to heal ourselves both mentally and physically. He gives examples of how people have used these tools to overcome illness and find a sense of well-being. It's about recognizing the power we have within to heal.
Abundance and success as mental states. This one really resonates with a lot of people, too. What's the key here?
Yeah, this is a big one. Murphy challenges the idea that success and abundance are only about external achievements. He says, no, they start in your mind. By cultivating a mindset of abundance, by believing in your ability to succeed, you make it more likely to happen in your external world. It's about changing your inner world first, and then seeing it reflected in your outer world.
It's about the mindset, the inner state that's really interesting. And the last major theme is practical spirituality for everyday life, not just about religion, right?
Right. He's not talking about abstract spiritual concepts. He's offering practical ways to use spiritual principles in your everyday life, to overcome challenges, to find more well-being, to deal with the stuff that we all go through. He wants to make spirituality something you can actually use every day.
So those are the major themes. Now, what are the key takeaways? What are the most important points Murphy wants people to remember?
Well, he really wants you to understand that your subconscious is constantly listening and it responds to the images and affirmations you give it. So those negative thoughts, get rid of them, replace them with positive, constructive ones. He also wants people to believe that healing, success, prosperity, they're all within reach. It's about aligning your subconscious with your goals. And don't forget, your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. What you think and believe is what you create. Oh, and also, prayer. It's not just about asking. It's about mentally accepting the outcome you want. It's about faith, about feeling it as if it's already true.
Those are some incredibly powerful takeaways. It really makes you think about how we can shape our own lives. Now, let's move on to some of those notable and popular quotes from the book. You know, the ones that stick with you.
Yeah, those are great. They really capture his ideas. And you can even use them as affirmations, like this one. The subconscious mind does not argue with you. It accepts what your conscious mind decrees. That one reminds us how important it is to be mindful of our thoughts.
It really does. And what about this one? As you sow in your subconscious mind, so shall you reap in your body and environment. It's about how our inner world becomes our outer world.
Exactly. And on the topic of belief and thought, this one is powerful. Your belief is the condition, the thought, the idea you accept as true. It emphasizes the power of our convictions, what we really hold to be true. And this one goes further. Change your thoughts and you change your destiny. That's about taking control and realizing we have the power to change.
That's very empowering. Okay, let's look at healing and health.
There's this one. You can heal yourself by transferring your thought to the subconscious mind and telling it what to do. This one really highlights the mind-body connection and the possibility of self-healing. And this one is even stronger. There is only one process of healing, and that is faith. There's only one healing power, namely your subconscious mind. He's really emphasizing where the true power to heal comes from.
That's powerful. Now for visualization and prayer.
Here's one that really gets to the heart of visualization. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It's not just about seeing it. It's about feeling it as if it's already real. And on prayer, prayer is the soul's sincere desire. Your desire is your prayer. It comes out of your deepest needs, and it reveals the things you want in life. Prayer is about aligning with your deepest desires, with your true self.
Okay, now success and prosperity. Some great quotes here too, right?
Yeah, like this one. Wealth is a subconscious conviction. It's about how our beliefs about wealth shape our reality. And this one is a great reminder. Never finish a negative statement. Reverse it immediately, and wonders will happen in your life. It's a simple but powerful technique to shift our thoughts.
And lastly, repetition and autosuggestion.
You must begin to train your conscious mind to think correctly. That is, in terms of harmony, health, peace, and goodwill. This one emphasizes that it takes effort, that we have to train our minds to think in a positive way. And finally, busy your mind with the concepts of harmony, health, peace, and goodwill, and wonders will happen in your life. It's a beautiful reminder of the power of our thoughts.
Those quotes are all so insightful. It's amazing how much wisdom Murphy packed into this book.
Yeah.
And let's talk about the structure of the book, the structured chapter list. How did Murphy organize his thoughts and present his arguments?
Well, the book is organized into chapters, and they build on each other logically. It's a progressive journey, starting with the basics and gradually introducing more advanced ideas and techniques. While there aren't formal parts, each chapter flows into the next, guiding the reader to understand and apply the power of the subconscious mind.
And there are 20 chapters, right? That's a lot of ground to cover. Could you list the titles so we get a sense of the scope?
Absolutely. So here they are. 1, the treasure house within you. 2, how your own mind works. 3, the miracle working power of your subconscious. 4, mental healings in ancient times. 5, mental healings in modern times. 6, practical techniques in mental healings. 7, the tendency of the subconscious is lifeward. 8, how to get the results you want. 9, how to use the power of your subconscious for wealth. 10, your right to be rich. 11, your subconscious mind as a partner in success. 12, scientists use the subconscious mind. 13, your subconscious and the wonders of sleep. 14, your subconscious mind and marital problems. 15, your subconscious mind and your happiness. 16, your subconscious mind and harmonious human relations. 17, how to use your subconscious mind for forgiveness. 18, how your subconscious removes mental blocks. 19, how to use your subconscious mind to remove fear. And 20, how to stay young in spirit forever. As you can see, he covers a really wide range of topics.
Wow, that's impressive. It really shows how broadly these principles can be applied. Okay, let's dive into a few chapters in more detail, starting with chapter 1, the treasure house within you. What's the main message in this first chapter?
In this chapter, he lays the groundwork by introducing the idea that inside each of us, we have this incredible untapped resource, this treasure house, and that treasure house is our subconscious mind. He argues that by understanding and learning to direct this power, we can transform our lives, in areas like healing, happiness, prosperity, peace. It's really about recognizing the potential that's already there within us.
So he's setting the stage, introducing us to this amazing power we all possess. What are some of the key ideas he lays out in this chapter, and what actions does he recommend?
He talks about the dual nature of the mind, how we have this conscious mind that's logical, analytical, and then the subconscious mind that's more receptive and accepting. And he compares the subconscious to a faithful servant. It carries out the instructions it receives from the conscious mind. So it's crucial that we choose our thoughts carefully. We're the gatekeepers, We decide what goes in. He also reframes prayer as a form of mental conditioning, a way to program the subconscious with our desires. And in terms of actions, he emphasizes monitoring our thoughts, using positive affirmations, visualizing what we want, and approaching prayer as a mental technique.
It's about becoming aware of our thoughts and consciously choosing what we focus on. Okay, let's move to Chapter 2, how your own mind works. How does he build upon that dual nature of the mind idea here?
Yeah, he goes into more detail in this chapter about how the conscious and subconscious minds interact. He describes the conscious mind as the watchman, the one that analyzes information and decides what gets passed on to the subconscious. And the subconscious, he says, is the creative force, the one that takes those beliefs and makes them reality. He talks about how thoughts with strong emotions attached to them, they really stick. They become our experiences. And this is where he introduces the law of belief, the idea that we experience what we believe to be true, not just what we wish for. He also talks about mental conditioning through repetition and visualization. So the takeaways here are, be careful about what you think about, use positive affirmations, especially when you're relaxed, avoid negative self-talk, and replace negative thoughts with positive ones.
So it's about tending to our inner garden, making sure we're planting the right seeds. Now, Chapter 3, the miracle working power of your subconscious. That title really grabs your attention.
It does. He's really driving home the point that our subconscious is capable of amazing things. He says it's constantly working, 24/7, and that when we combine mental imagery with belief, we can literally shape our reality. He talks about faith as the key to unlocking this power, and how the subconscious can heal us and solve problems, often in ways we don't even understand. And the amazing thing is, everyone is using this power, whether they realize it or not. So he suggests visualizing our goals as if they've already happened, using the affirmation, infinite intelligence is revealing it to me now, giving problems to the subconscious to work on while we sleep, and developing a sense of inner certainty.
That's really inspiring. Now, Chapter 4 takes a different approach, mental healings in ancient times. Why did he include this historical perspective?
I think he wants to show that these principles aren't new. Ancient cultures understood and used the power of the subconscious. He talks about things like temple sleep and rituals, and how belief was at the heart of their effectiveness. Those rituals were tools to focus and amplify belief. And he argues that there's a universal healing principle at work here, something that transcends time and culture. So for us today, the lesson is recognize this healing power within, use affirmations with the same reverence they did in ancient times, and see how those traditions were early forms of subconscious programming.
It's fascinating to see these connections across history. Now, Chapter 5 brings it back to the present, mental healings in modern times. How does he link those ancient ideas to today?
He bridges the gap by showing how the power of the subconscious is still at work today, even in modern times. He points to things like the placebo effect and stories of people who experienced remarkable healings. He argues that this power hasn't gone anywhere, and that often when we remove mental blocks, healing can happen spontaneously. So he encourages us to do some mental cleansing, to use our beliefs deliberately, to have faith in the process, and to replace negative self-talk with positive affirmations.
So it's not just an ancient phenomenon, it's happening all around us right now. And then Chapter 6 gets practical techniques in mental healings. What are some of the specific tools he offers?
This is where he gives us a real toolbox. He talks about the sleep technique, where you use the time right before falling asleep to plant suggestions in your subconscious. He goes into detail about visualization, emphasizing the importance of making it vivid and emotionally engaging. He talks about affirmations, positive statements you repeat with feeling. He even introduces a couple of other methods, like the argumentative method for people who need to reason things out, and the absolute method, which is more about a firm declaration of belief. The key takeaway here is to experiment and find what works best for you, but always remember the importance of emotion and repetition.
It's like a user manual for your subconscious mind. Chapter 7, the tendency of the subconscious is lifeward. Sounds optimistic.
It is. This is a very reassuring chapter. He argues that the natural tendency of the subconscious is towards life, towards growth, health, and well-being. It wants us to thrive. But, he says, negative thinking disrupts this natural flow. Our thoughts can either enhance or hinder this life force within us. So, He suggests practicing mental hygiene, choosing positive thoughts, repeating life-affirming affirmations, gently replacing negative thoughts, and trusting in our body's natural healing abilities.
It's about aligning ourselves with that positive force within. Chapter 8 is very goal-oriented, how to get the results you want. How does he suggest we manifest our desires?
This is about setting ourselves up for success. He talks about defining your desires clearly, really getting clear about what you want, and he emphasizes the role of emotion. You have to feel it, not just think it. He highlights the power of relaxation and repetition, but also cautions against trying to force things. The idea is to impress the desire on your subconscious and then let it go, trusting in the process. So he suggests writing down your desires, visualizing them with emotion, using affirmations that evoke those desired feelings, and maintaining a state of relaxed expectation.
It's about surrender, trusting that the universe is working on it. And then chapter 9 focuses on money, how to use the power of your subconscious for wealth. What are his key ideas for attracting financial abundance?
Well, he says that wealth starts in the mind. It's about conditioning yourself to think in terms of abundance. He says, eliminate negative beliefs about money, embrace the idea that wealth is a state of mind, and affirm financial abundance regularly. He also says to avoid worrying about how it will happen. Trust the process. The key takeaways here are, identify and change any negative money beliefs you might have. Visualize money flowing into your life. Practice gratitude for the wealth you already have, and repeat affirmations specifically focused on prosperity.
It's about shifting our mindset about money, seeing it as something positive and abundant. Chapter 10 continues with your right to be rich. That's a bold statement.
It is. He's making the point that we all have a right to experience wealth. He challenges the idea that wanting wealth is greedy or selfish. He says it's natural, even noble, and that feeling guilty about money only creates blocks. He encourages us to rewrite any limiting beliefs about money and see it as a tool for good, for contributing to the world. So he suggests affirming your right to abundance, examining and changing any guilt you might have about money, seeing your resources as a way to help others, and viewing wealth not just as material things, but as an inner state of richness.
So it's about giving ourselves permission to prosper. That's really powerful. Chapter 11 looks at your subconscious mind as a partner in success. How does he describe this partnership?
He presents the subconscious mind as this incredible ally in our pursuit of success. He says success is a mental habit, something we cultivate through positive self-talk and visualization. He encourages us to align our work with a sense of purpose, with serving others, and to truly believe in our ability to succeed. The takeaways here are to affirm your success daily, visualize your goals as already achieved, use your subconscious to solve problems, and make sure your goals are aligned with your values and bring you joy.
That's a great way to approach success. Now, chapter 12 shifts gears a bit. Scientists use the subconscious mind. What's the connection here?
Well, he highlights how many great scientists and inventors throughout history have used their subconscious minds, often without even realizing it. He talks about how the subconscious is great at problem solving and coming up with creative ideas, and he emphasizes the power of letting go, of giving a problem to the subconscious and letting it work its magic. He gives examples like Nikola Tesla and Dmitri Mendeleev. So the takeaways are, use your subconscious for creative insights, practice relaxation to access intuition, trust your gut feelings, and write down any ideas or dreams you have.
It's about tapping into that wellspring of creativity within us. And chapter 13 is all about sleep, your subconscious and the wonders of sleep. Why is sleep so important?
He emphasizes that the time right before sleep is incredibly powerful for influencing the subconscious. He reinforces the sleep technique, the idea of planting suggestions before you drift off. And he explains that the subconscious continues working even while we sleep, processing information and responding to suggestions. He advises against any negative input before bed and encourages using this time to reprogram our minds. So he recommends repeating affirmations before sleep, giving your subconscious problems to work on overnight, visualizing your goals, and creating a peaceful bedtime routine.
Sleep is more than just rest. It's an opportunity for transformation. Chapter 14 addresses relationships, your subconscious mind, and marital problems. How does he apply his principles to this challenging area?
He argues that relationship problems often stem from negative beliefs and patterns that we bring into them. We attract what we believe about relationships. He emphasizes that change begins within, with changing our own thoughts and beliefs about our partner and the relationship itself. He encourages affirming the kind of relationship we want and highlights the subconscious mind's ability to attract an ideal partner. So he suggests focusing on your partner's positive qualities, using mental programming techniques for harmony, repeating affirmations for love and respect, And if single, affirming your worthiness and visualizing the relationship you desire.
It's about creating that inner harmony first and then letting it manifest in our relationships. And chapter 15 is all about feeling good, your subconscious mind, and your happiness. Where does he say happiness comes from?
He makes it very clear. True happiness is an inside job. It's not dependent on external things. It's a state of mind we create. Our subconscious reflects our dominant emotional state. So we can choose to be happy regardless of our circumstances. He suggests affirming happiness daily, practicing gratitude, letting go of the I'll be happy when mindset, and visualizing joyful outcomes.
Happiness is a choice, a state of being we can cultivate. And chapter 16 extends this to our interactions with others, your subconscious mind, and harmonious human relations. How can we create more harmonious relationships?
He says it starts with our own thoughts and beliefs about others. If we want harmony, we need to cultivate it within ourselves first. He emphasizes the importance of forgiveness and visualizing positive interactions. He reminds us that our reactions to others often reflect our own internal state, so he suggests visualizing peaceful resolutions, practicing forgiveness, affirming peace when challenged, and even keeping a journal to track and improve your interactions.
It's about taking responsibility for the energy we bring to our relationships. And chapter 17 focuses on forgiveness, how to use your subconscious mind for forgiveness. Why is forgiveness so important?
He says forgiveness is essential for peace and well-being. Unforgiveness creates blocks in the subconscious and can even manifest as physical ailments. He emphasizes that forgiveness is primarily for the forgiver. It frees us from the burden of resentment. And it's important to forgive ourselves, too. He suggests using affirmations for release and forgiveness. So he recommends affirming forgiveness nightly, practicing self-forgiveness, visualizing healing light, and letting go of the need to be right.
Forgiveness is truly a gift we give ourselves. And then chapter 18 addresses those limiting beliefs we all struggle with, how your subconscious removes mental blocks. How do we overcome these blocks?
Well, he says these mental blocks come from negative beliefs, fears, and past experiences that we've internalized. He introduces the law of substitution, where you consciously replace negative thoughts with positive ones. And he says willpower isn't always enough. We need to use techniques like relaxation and positive reinforcement to break those patterns. He emphasizes the power of affirmations to dissolve these blocks. So he suggests identifying the block, creating a counter-affirmation, using relaxation techniques, and consistently replacing negative thoughts with positive ones.
It's like rewiring our brains for positivity.
Yeah.
And chapter 19 deals with fear. How to use your subconscious mind to remove fear. How do we face our fears and overcome them?
He says fear is learned, and what's learned can be unlearned. He reminds us that fear is a thought. The situation might be real, but the fear itself is in our minds. He encourages us to face our fears with faith and confidence, to repeat affirmations that empower us, and to use desensitization techniques. So he suggests identifying the fear, creating a counter-belief that embodies courage, repeating those affirmations, visualizing yourself successfully handling the feared situation, and choosing peace when fear arises.
It's about recognizing that we have the power to change our relationship with fear. And finally, chapter 20, how to stay young in spirit forever. This is a great note to end on.
It is. He emphasizes that aging is partly mental. If we stay optimistic, engaged with life, and avoid negative beliefs about aging, we can stay young at heart. He reminds us that the subconscious can even renew the body, and that peace, love, and joy are key ingredients for staying youthful. He suggests affirming youthfulness daily, avoiding negative stereotypes about aging, staying mentally and physically active, and letting go of the past.
So it's about mindset and attitude, choosing to embrace life with enthusiasm and joy. This has been such a rich and insightful deep dive into Joseph Murphy's The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. It's amazing how much practical wisdom he offers about this incredible power we all have within us.
Absolutely. His core message is so empowering. Our inner world shapes our outer world. We have the power to create the life we want by changing our thoughts and beliefs.
As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a question. What's one belief that, if you truly embraced it, could create the most positive change in your life right now? What seed will you plant in your subconscious mind? It's something to think about, and it's at the heart of what Joseph Murphy teaches. And if you're inspired to explore these ideas further, we encourage you to check out his book. There's a link in the description.
It's a book that really reminds us of the power we hold within. We can create the life we desire.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. This has been BookCast FM, bringing books to life one cast at a time.